shared it with some of my teammates as well as the organization and everyone else in Boston. If you guys will have me back, I plan on re-signing here next year.
Boom!
So, I appreciate it.
As much as the Celtics have to be proud of, they're going to rue this performance today.
It'll be a tough offseason knowing how close they came. Good sportsmanship there. Final seconds, tick off. It's over. Cleveland wins Game 7. LeBron James and the Cavs do it again.
Well, it wasn't much surprise. You know, LeBron was going to come in here and play great. And what he's done is nothing short of spectacular. You know, this is an experience these young guys have to learn from, but the future is bright. Nobody even thought they would be here one game away for a chance to play in the championship.
Listen, the East is gone. It was gone when LeBron stayed in the East. The Boston Celtics are the team to beat in the Eastern Conference for the next 10 years. They took them to 7 games without Kyrie and Gordon Hayward.
Eastern Conference, I have some bad news. You're going to get your butts kicked this year by the Boston Celtics. They're going to win 67 games, and they're going to be up by 30 points in a lot of them. And there's going to be a lot of high-fiving. 67-15.
Kyrie, how important is it to see number 11 up there one day?
It's quite important, and shared it with some of my teammates as well as the organization and everyone else in Boston. If you guys will have me back, I plan on re-signing here next year.
Boom!
So, I appreciate it.
I wish I had an answer for why we couldn't translate how hard we play in practice for the last week or so into the game. Brad's doing a great job of teaching us and putting in sets and putting in structure for us to follow. You know, we're asking a lot of our players to be like basketball savants now, rather than just basketball players.
Back at TD Garden, the Boston Celtics topped the 76ers 105-87. I'm not worried about Gordon Hayward, but I mean, if you look at his body language, he's clearly not. He's far from where he needs to be.
He's not
right?
going
Can
to
we
be
say
where
that?
he needs to be till December, probably. The big story here, guys, is the Celtics blew the doors off the Philadelphia 76ers.
My biggest storyline thus far is the Boston Celtics losing to Toronto and Orlando. For me, I've got the Boston Celtics head and shoulders above everybody. That includes Toronto. I'm going to monitor whether they look better with or without Kyrie Irving.
We just don't hunt great on offense until it's desperation time. And we're not there yet. And so that to me is well-coached teams are, get there. We're not a well-coached team. It's pretty obvious.
And about their slow start, here's what Kyrie Irving had to say. We needed this. We're not as good as we think we are. Right now, I think it would be nice if we had someone that was a 15-year vet, a 14-year vet, that could kind of help us race along the regular season and understand it's a long marathon rather than just a full-on sprint.
Celtics just need a stop here. It's a one-possession game, 112-109. Burke has an open court in front of him. Pulls up for a 3, buries it. Trey Burke has 29 off the bench.
Words can't even explain it. It feels like deja vu all over again. Like we keep saying and doing the same thing after every game, and it's getting real annoying. I mean, I don't even know what to say to you guys at this point.
Okay, let's talk about the Celtics beating the Pelicans last night after inserting Marcus Smart into the starting lineup. I don't know. Would you keep him there? Gordon was on the bench to start the game last night. Kyrie saying, I like playing with him, because we all know who's taking the shot.
Right.
Celtics won their 7th in a row, beating the Wizards in OT. They're winning by an average of 23 points per game on the streak, but they haven't beat a team over 500. To me, this is the Celtics figuring it out. They moved Gordon Hayward to the bench. And the biggest story is the reemergence of Kyrie Irving as a star.
Just take a quick peek at the Boston Celtics huddle. The Celtics were playing well, but then they got blown out in Miami, and Marcus Morris gives them a little playful little shove. When players understand that they have a level of value, it's hard to re-suppress it. It's like putting toothpaste back in the tube.
As Hayward inbounds it to Tatum. Tatum over Iwundu. No good! And the Magic hold on to win. There's magic in Orlando tonight, Jeff Turner.
That was well done, well played. Good job by the coach.
Experience. It's the best thing I can say is experience. we're lacking it, and because of that, we have a lot of learning to do. It's not easy to be great.
Just gotta have each other's back at the end of the day. You can't make comments, you can't point fingers. Just gotta continue to empower each other and have each other's back. If we don't, when we start pointing fingers, everybody's gonna go into their own little shell. We gotta continue to play basketball. It starts from the top to the bottom.
I had to call Bron, and tell him, like, I apologize for being that young player that wanted to everything at his fingertips, and he's been there with me where I've been the young guy of being a 22-year-old kid and wanting everything. You want everything right now.
Has your mindset shifted though in regards to re-signing with Boston, like the announcement?
Ask me July 1st. Obviously, this has become like an entertainment thing for everybody. Some people call me about this, this dumb. Of course, my name is keep throwing on in this. I'm not worried about a reputation. I'm not worried about a legacy to leave.
It was a tale of two halves here as the Celtics blew a 28-point lead to the Los Angeles Clippers. The Celtics, obviously, their best first half of the year.
In a few years.
In a few years. Then they turn worst third quarter of the season, which turns into the worst second half of the season, and they lose by 11. It was ugly.
Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, they were not secretive at all. They were videotaped talking in the hallway of the Spectrum Center. Kyrie was the only player to stick around for KD's entire All-Star ceremony, right? Look at him, he's right there. Finally, photo was posted with the caption, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving spotted in a Miami restaurant together.
So it's a video of me and one of my best friends talking, and then it turns out to be a dissection of a free agency meeting? You get that? Do you get that? Do you live? Is the internet real for you in your life? It's my life, right? It's two people talking, having a conversation.
Lopez in front, picked up by Kyrie, up and off, and Milwaukee is held on to win.
I don't get frustrated about this stuff anymore. It's just part of the regular season, in the playoffs when we could plan for a team, prepare for a team. I still don't see anybody beating us in 7 games, so it'll be fine.
Why do you think that?
Because I'm here.
You go on the road and beat the defending champion Golden State Warriors by 33, you're balling. That was great, Celtics. In that team somewhere, a championship level team. It's in there somewhere, they had to find it. And what Kyrie Irving say? They take this plane ride, right? They work things out.
Down the stretch, try to come in and help as much as possible. We should have probably trapped them a little bit more like every other team does in the league, but we didn't.
Kyrie sharing those thoughts about Boston's loss in Charlotte, what is now a 4-game losing streak.
It's absolutely a shot at Brad Stevens, and this has happened before this year, and it's probably going to happen again. If I was a Celtics fan, I would be extraordinarily frustrated. Imagine being like the Celtics ownership or even being Brad Stevens.
There's your cone of uncertainty.
It's never been wider.
They could go anywhere from the first round to the championship.
And at this point, they're probably going to not have home court advantage in the first round.
Here's Marcus Smart. He collides with Vukovic.
He waves
Signer.
Yeah, and watch. Now, there is no tougher guy on the Celtic squad than number 36.
Celtics Pacers. John Schumann, he called this one the underachievers in the Boston Celtics versus the overachievers in the Indiana Pacers. It's a 4-5 matchup.
I just think this is a series Kyrie Irving wants to really stamp his name on and sort of carry this team because it's been chaotic in Boston. They haven't looked impressive at all.
Now they're going down fighting. And that's going to be it. The Boston Celtics will defeat the Indiana Pacers 4-0 for their first playoff sweep since 2011.
The Bucks suffering a pretty ugly loss at home, game 1. I know, I'm like second round, woo!
As a team, I don't know where Milwaukee goes from here. Because
Whoa. So is this over?
No, listen, I think it's over.
This series is over.
Yeah, Boston is just going to out-talent them.
Milwaukee absolutely demolishes the Celtics. 116-91, advancing to the Eastern Conference Finals for the first time since 2001. Boston making history with an epic collapse. They're now the first team in league history to win their first 5 games in the playoffs, only to lose their next 4.
Brad Stevens tried to take the fall last night for his team, but Kyrie Irving deserves 100, make it 1,000% of the blame. So, over the last 4 games, Kyrie Irving shot 30% from the floor. That is hard to do. From three, he shot 5 of 27. That's 19%.
Maybe the most skillful player who ever lived. And he's from the area and he's got the situation he wants. He's going to put on a show. But I can't sit here and say I'm confident. Problem, Kyrie won't show up. He has not shown in the past that he can be just the lunch pail guy who doesn't ever cause a problem.